So you're wondering why professional badminton athletes look like they're just walking on the court. Meanwhile, you're on the court doing some sort of salsa dance. Well, today I'm going to tell you the 5 mistakes that you're making that's ruining your badminton footwork. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and watch until the end of the video. The first mistake that you're making is you're taking too much extra steps. Now, one common instance of this is usually in our shuffles moving backwards. You see, what we actually need in a shuffle moving backwards is only 2 shuffles. 1, 2. And then we're at the back court. But many players, instead of taking 2 big steps where we have more coverage, you guys do something like this. You take a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That almost more than 5 times the time it takes you to move to the back, and it's so much more tiring. So don't take extra steps. Always have big movements on footwork for foot coverage. The second mistake that you're making is that you're not timing your push off of when your opponent hits the bird. Now, what's the push off? The push off is that moment you jump and you land, which creates enough power for you to push in the direction you want to go. Now, some of you aren't pushing off at all, so you don't even have power to go out. Some of you are pushing off too early before they hit. So once you land and then they hit, you're not pushing off at all either. So you really want to watch your opponent. Right before they hit, you want to time your jump and land as they hit their shot, so you can use this power on your land as momentum to push off in the direction you want to create your footwork in. The third mistake that you're making is that you're not properly recovering from your lunges. A lot of you might be doing this. You might be running forward and not lunging and just doing this and then having to come back. First, that takes too much time. Second thing, a mistake that you're making is probably you're lunging very big, and from here, you're trying to push back with all your strength. You see how slow that was? And it takes a lot of power. So those are probably the 2 main mistakes you're making on your lunge that's delaying your recovery. What you want to do on your lunge is first, you do want to create a big lunge to come out, so we have to reduce the distance we have to actually move. Second, once we lunge, we want to have a stable stance and just bring in our back foot to recover our center of gravity to the middle a little bit, and from here, just come back. So no overrunning, no pushing too hard. Big lunge and then recover as we come back, and that'll increase your recovery time on your footwork. If you want access to a free online badminton academy with personal coaches and custom training plans, then click the link down below. The fourth mistake that you're making that's delaying your footwork speed is you're always rushing back to the center after you hit a shot. Let's say you hit one shot in the backcourt, and then right after you hit, you're trying to run back to the center to prepare for all shots. That's actually really bad. Because first, you have to understand, the badminton court is very small. It's not about how fast you're running. It's about how fast you can turn in that correct direction. So why it's bad to rush to the center of the court is because you're creating so much momentum moving this way that it's going to be really hard to diffuse into every other direction except for the direction that you're running in. So if you wanted to run back again, you have all this momentum coming forward. If you wanted to change to other directions, it's really hard to divert it. All you can really do is keep running straight. That's why we don't want to rush back to the center of the court after we hit. We want to hit. We don't have to go all the way back. Just come back slowly, making sure our momentum is neutral so that we can still go in every direction. And if they hit back here, it's okay because we're already standing here. The last mistake you're making in your footwork is that you get stuck on your heels too much. Now, when you're playing badminton, you really want to be on the balls of your feet and pushing off with your calves and ankles, because that's where you generate the bounce. When you're on your heels, many of you, because maybe you're used to other sports, maybe you go to the gym and do lots of squats, go on your heels right now. It's almost impossible to push off. You're just stuck on the ground. So that's one problem. You really want to make sure you're on the balls of your feet. You should feel the muscles you're using is your ankles, your calves. If you feel like you're using back here, your glutes or your hamstrings, that's not good because you're not going to be able to push off. And you have to know that badminton is a very bouncy sport. If we're stuck like this, sometimes it's okay for defense, but other than defense, it's really hard to move in this position. So make sure you're not stuck on your heels when you're moving. Those were the 5 mistakes that you're making that's ruining your badminton footwork. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.